Welcome back to the Twin Times Podcast, episode 47. Today we have another special guest. His name is Daniel Hickey. He's a part of the leadership team at Xavier College. We talk about his time so far within the education sector.
I didn't actually start off in education. I started off working at the airport. I was working for an airline, but it was long hours. It wasn't for me. It was at a barbecue. I was having a conversation with somebody, and I said to this guy who had been a police officer and become a lawyer, and I said to him, that's what I want to do. I want to change my career, and I just don't know what to do, what I want to do. And he said, well, what is it you love doing? I said, I've got a martial arts club. I love teaching Taekwondo. And he says, what is it about it that you enjoy? I said, I teach people how to do this or that, and they get really good at it. And he says, so what do you enjoy? You enjoy what? I said, I enjoy the teaching of it. And he looked at me and I went, yeah, I need to be a teacher, don't I? So the opportunity arose. I was able to get a voluntary redundancy, allowed me to study for 4 years, and out I came as a teacher.
We also talk about his time at Xavier College so far.
One of the first things that I remember about Xavier College is that we were walking to the assembly, and this student turned around, and he turned around and he shook my hand and he said, "You're new. Welcome to Xavier." So welcoming.
Contrast, yeah.
So friendly. I thought, what is going on? And then Lynn Martin at the assembly said, we've got a new house director, Mr. Hickey, and there he is at the back. And all the kids turned around and waved at me. I thought, no way. But they were just super friendly, and I thought, there's something going on here. And that was initially everybody was saying, we just have great kids. We have great kids. But I think what it is the school has a great ethos, created by the values of the school, created by the Salesian charism, how we treat one another, and I think that's reflected in how it's respect back, So teachers respected the kids respected the teachers, and it was just such a lovely, warm environment.
And his thoughts on inclusive education and how it's changed over the years.
Diagnostic tools have improved, and I think the access to allied health and support has improved. I think that allows a lot of people, a lot of kids who would have been put into a particular category in the past. There's more scope for movement and support, and I think that's really important. And I think the NDIS has really helped with that. To be able to allow a lot of parents to access funding to support allied health, and therefore the growth of their kids and their students, and accessibility and inclusiveness. It's really important.
Other than that, let's hop into the episode.
Tell us a little bit about yourself, Daniel, and what made you want to become a teacher and work in the education sector?
I didn't actually start off in education. I started off working at the airport. I was working for an airline, but it was long hours. It wasn't for me. It was a bit of, I needed a change. It was a bit pointless work, for me. So it was at a barbecue. I was having a conversation with somebody, and I said to this guy who had been a police officer and become a lawyer, and I said to him, that's what I want to do. I want to change my career, and I just don't know what to do, what I want to do. And he said, well, what is it you love doing? I said, I've got a martial arts club. I love teaching Taekwondo. And he says, what is it about it that you enjoy? I said, I teach people how to do this or that, and they get really good at it. And he says, so what do you enjoy? You enjoy what? I said, I enjoy the teaching of it. And he looked at me and I went, yeah, I need to be a teacher, don't I? So the opportunity arose. I was able to get a voluntary redundancy, allowed me to study for 4 years, and out I came as a teacher, qualified teacher.
Beautiful.
Yeah. Did you enjoy the airport for what it was, I guess?
Where did you work? What airline did you work for?
It was ANSEC. It collapsed in 2021. No, 2001, I think, 2001.
Yeah, right.
It collapsed, so I'd left in 99 and started studying.
Was that here in Adelaide?
Yeah.
Oh, was it?
Airport, yeah. So long before you guys
I was born
I was
in
born in
01.
01, but
Well, there you go. You wouldn't remember it very well, but it was. No, it was a good experience. I met some really good people, so made some really good friends, lifelong friends there. But you know, it was the hours sometimes started at 5 o'clock in the morning and finished at 11 at night.
Oh, wow.
So there was a few 18-hour days there, which were covering shifts and such. So it was a bit arduous, but
Did you have to like work on weekends?
weekends and stuff.
always.
Yeah, always.
Christmas, New Year, it was relentless, and that sucked.
Yeah.
So I needed to get away from weekend work.
And you still do the taekwondo, do you?
Well, I've stepped back a bit. So I've, with a bit of age, has come a bit of fragile health and bones and muscles, and
He
so
doesn't look a day over 50. He's really good.
it's good because I'm 45.
Oh my God.
No, so I am. I am over 50, but I just wanted to get away from. I stepped back with martial arts. Now I just do gradings. I go into clubs and grade black belts and such. But that's about it. Yeah.
Cool. Happy days.
Yeah. In the different types of roles that you've taken up in the education space at the different schools you've worked at, are there differences in terms of the curriculum structure at different schools, or is it sort of similar?
I think the curriculum's the curriculum, as in the Australian curriculum. It goes out. It's same but different. I think, particularly within Catholic Ed, I think they're really focusing, and the same with the department and public schools. They're focusing on keeping it similar, so everyone can have their little tweak and teach it the way they want to, but it's the same. Yeah. And I think I remember when I first came to. So you guys were there when Lynn Martin was the principal.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So and I remember we did there was a school tour, and Lynn Martin was talking to all the parents, and he said to them that, and he really dismissed the curriculum. He's like, the curriculum's the curriculum. And I thought, what are you doing, Lynn? Just hold it tight. Talk about how good we are at pedagogy and curriculum, and meeting the needs of the students. But he said, what we like to focus on is our pastoral care. How we care for the students and allows them to develop and to feel supported and to thrive. And I thought, you nailed it. You really nailed it. And that's what the school was about. What Xavier College is all about is that relationships with the kids, having that lifelong relationships as we've kept in contact. And I think that's really important, and that's the kind of thing that we've strived for within the school.
Lynn Martin was a great talker.
Yeah, he was.
He was really nailed the points all the time, even when he was principal of us. Yeah,
Absolutely.
his company.
What type of leadership roles have you taken up? I know that you're the assistant principal now here, but what are the different roles that you've sort of taken up?
That was interesting. I was having this conversation last night with my wife, and I was saying that I had 1 year of just being a teacher without being in a leadership role. And I started off with smaller roles, and they've just gotten bigger and bigger. So I think I've done everything in every area. I've done some curriculum stuff. I've done some inclusive ed stuff. Done some house leader stuff. The director stuff that you saw. Do daily ops here. Do teaching and learning. I do well-being. So I've sort of covered everything. I think I do timetabling. There's on the weekends I come in and mow the lawn. I clean the toilets before I leave. I can't do everything. But I think it's just been a natural progression. I think I've been very lucky for a lot of opportunities and support from past principals that I've worked under, and the experience of working with great teams is really, really important. You can't be in a good leadership team without a team. And that's what's really important, the people that I'm surrounded by.
Do you feel like that experiences within all the different types of roles that you've taken up has led you to where you ultimately are today?
Yes, I would. And I think as I've progressed, I've learned a little bit more about being in a team. And here's a good example with you fellas. I think that, and that's the same with any team, like if you take a great soccer team like Manchester City, they have to do it together. And I think that's what I've come to learn in leadership, is that if you have a good team around you, the team thrives and the school thrives. And that's what's really important.
Yeah. Do you feel it's made a difference to the overall environment, being in a higher leadership position, whether that be here at Xavier College or different schools? Has it sort of helped to the environment grow a lot more?
Yeah, and I think that's how it works. And that's, say for instance, if I need to step out and deal with one thing, I know somebody else is going to come in behind me and support where I was. So just like Manchester City. So if the midfield moves up, then somebody from defence will move into midfield. It's the same thing. It's the same principles. We move around to support one another. It's not my specific job. There's no demarcation lines. It's how do we work this through together? And I think that it's really, really obvious, particularly here.
We're just going to get Man City
That's right.
all day up.
What made you decide to work at Xavier College? You taught at a lot of different schools, but what made you want to work here specifically at Xavier?
That's interesting, because I think what's really important, that when you work with someplace, you've got to have the same values. That's the first thing. So no matter what you do in life, no matter where you go, if you do not align your values with that company, then it's not going to work. So for instance, if your values align with McDonald's, you think, I really like burgers, and therefore I'm going to help make the best burgers, then that's going to be fantastic. And I think the values that the school has, and the Salesian charism, it speaks to me, and I think that's why I've stayed here for so long. And that's what, well, initially that's not what attracted me to the job. I just applied for the role, and I had a good job already. I was at St. Paul's at the time, and I had a good job, and I thought, I'd see what else is out there. Sometimes teachers get a bit of itchy feet and want to try something different. And I think I came to the interview, and it was with Lynn Martin and a couple of other leadership team members. And the experience was very, very positive. I really enjoyed the interview. And I thought, and as I'm going through the interview, as much as they were interviewing me, I was interviewing them. And I'll never forget that when Lynn called me and offered me the job, and I expressed that to him. I said, look, I thought that working with you would be really good. So yeah, I'm on board.
This bloke sounds like Kevin Sheedy. That's brilliant. Starting out in 2015 as a house director, was it the right sort of job to take on at the time to sort of have some progression, or was it like a daunting experience coming to a new school, a new environment?
Yeah, that's right. And I think new school, completely new system. I'd been in boys' education, so suddenly having
so it was an all boys school.
From St. Paul's.
Right.
So it was, boys are easy because you just know exactly what you're getting. But there's coming then into throwing girls in the mix made it a little bit more problematic. I'll never forget my first day walking past some girls, and there were some girls crying, and I thought, what do I do? Keep walking. And then I found some more girls crying, and I thought, I don't know what to do. And eventually I worked it out that
You became like a teenager again.
But you know, I got used to working with girls and how they operate, and it became quite easy. I think I was again surrounded by some great team members, great operators. And so supported me in my role, and I really enjoyed it. And I think one of the first things that I remember about Xavier College is that we were walking to the assembly, and this student turned around, and he turned around and he shook my hand and he said, "You're new. Welcome to Xavier." And I thought, get lost. I came from a school where they would like shank me and take my wallet. No, they weren't. They were great kids there as well. But you get the idea. It was just so welcoming.
Contrast,
So friendly. I thought, what is going on? And then Lynn Martin at the assembly said, "Oh, we've got a new house director, Mr. Hickey, and there he is at the back." And all the kids turned around and waved at me. I thought, no way. This is like a stitch up. But they were just super friendly, and I thought, there's something going on here. And that was initially everybody was saying, oh, we just have great kids. We have great kids. But I think what it is the school has a great ethos.
You create that
That warm environment
Yeah.
at the end of the day.
Exactly. Created by the values of the school, created by the Salesian charism, how we treat one another, and I think that's reflected in how it's respect back, you know. So teachers respected the kids respected the teachers, and it was just such a lovely, warm environment.
I think really supportive of you during that time, during those first, I don't know, maybe month or a couple of weeks, to really support you to get your feet on the ground here.
I think it was the house director team.
Yeah.
So there was 8 of us all in one little pokey room, and everybody had everyone's back, and everyone supported one another.
Yeah.
And I think that was really, really important.
Any banter?
To go on in that little pokey room.
Big time.
What
Can't,
was your
Second in charge
Yeah,
for
that
Okiana.
time.
oh well, it wasn't second in charge. That's we would like. There was one, and then there was the
you
other.
were partial
Care, weren't you?
pastoral.
Yeah.
Who was academic then?
And then at that time it was Carolina Yeats. So
It was
I remember
too.
that.
It was.
2015. Yeah. And then it turned into, well, she didn't turn into Lee Swiderski, but Lee turned in, and then it was I really enjoyed working with everybody that I worked with. I really enjoyed working with. So
You also
Okiana, did you have any other leaderships within the house?
I had a year off where I went as assistant principal in another school for 12 months in 2019.
was that St. Columba?
Yeah, it was.
Then I returned in 2020 into Mazzarello. I had a couple of years there, and that was really good, and I worked really well with Costa Timiu, who's great operator. So,
Yeah.
that was my story. And then before I came over to the amalgamation of St. Bridget's and Xavier College, and so at that stage when I first went to Xavier, I think we were about 700, 750, and now I think we're at about 2,500 students. It's just,
It's insane.
yeah, it really is.
And then
And you're getting the Riverlea campus in a couple of years?
Yeah. I think it's getting bigger than Ben-Hur. It's, it's very, very, and I think what it is people are attracted to,
the school.
who we are, not what we are, but who we are, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So just having that reflection on conversations that I've had with parents over the years, and it's always been about our values and our connectiveness to the kids. I think that's really important in those relationships. So I was telling somebody earlier on that my latest thing on yard duty is I stop kids as they're walking past, or I yell at them as they're going across the yard and say, because they're little kids, so they have a good sense of humour.
Yeah, no, I understand.
All the kids are a bit more like, why are you even looking at me? But, and I challenged them to a dance-off. Hey, I challenge you to a dance-off. And I started dancing around the yard, and 99% of them join in, and we're dancing around. No music, just dancing off. It's so much fun.
Was that little
Bands that you develop from that young age. We work with young kids as well out at Catherine Macaulay, and it's like sort of instilling that at a young age helps them grow and thrive in that environment.
That's it. And as you know, it's super important that they see members of leadership as somebody to connect with.
absolutely?
Important that if they feel that they have something, they've got somebody they can talk to.
Yeah.
So the idea is, and I remember having this conversation with a parent who was concerned that their child had been in my office for a part of the day. And so rang me and said, what did they do wrong? I said, no, nothing. They were a little bit dysregulated. I brought them in because my office is a safe place. So it was a system of reward. I helped them regulate, and then we got back out into the class. So it's a positive thing. He did nothing wrong.
Yeah. No, that's amazing. That you create that warm
Environment, and you're a caring person yourself.
Yeah.
You can see that.
Exceptionally caring. It's nice that you recognise those values.
That's why we're back.
Want to come to the school? Is it through like word of mouth, or is it through like the social media stuff that you're doing nowadays that gets a lot of attractiveness?
Is it
to
through
the
our
school?
great cameraman?
Yeah.
It's a lot to do with the marketing. Look, I think it's parents know how much their children mean to the teachers, and I think that's the important part. They drop their kids at the door knowing that the staff here are going to really care for their kids, and I think that's important. It's your children.
Yeah,
you know what I
that's
mean?
right.
It's like your most valuable thing, and to put them into the care of somebody, it's a big thing. So I think they want to make sure they get it right, and I think that it's out in the community how well we do it. So that's how I think.
And being a part of this leadership team now at Xavier, do you feel that the kids do ultimately learn and grow with you being in the leadership position and creating this environment where they can grow and learn as individuals?
I'm going to say that our data says yes. So when we look at our data, we triangulate our data. We look at different types of data, and what does it all say? All of it says yes. And that's the idea. It's just continual movement forward, but grounded in a foundation of pastoral care, if that makes sense. Yeah. So you have the good foundation, then you can learn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure. What do you think Xavier's taught you most in your time here when you started in 2015? What have you learnt along the way?
What have I learned? I think I've learned a little bit of patience, if that makes sense. I think it's important to be measured rather than reactive. So when a problem arises or something comes through, it's not a matter of, the answer is not no, it's a matter of, all right, let's see how we work that through. So the answer is always, well, not always yes, but philosophically it's yes. How do we make it work? What do we need to do to get to that point? And we try not to be quick, if that makes sense, and we need to be like completely all over it and think through every sort of scenario. So, and I think chess. Leadership is likened to chess. Got it wrong way around.
Maybe a chess game could work.
It's like leadership is like multiple games of chess at the same time. So I'm playing, I'll move that piece to here, and then I'm on this game over here, and then I move to that game over there. And I think that's important. You've got to keep focusing on one game at a time, compartmentalize, if that makes sense. Yeah.
Do you feel the education system has changed over time to fit the needs of students who may struggle in a classroom setting?
Yeah, well, look, I think diagnostic tools have improved, and I think the access to allied health and support has improved. I think that allows a lot of people, a lot of kids who would have been put into a particular category in the past, there's more scope for movement and support, and I think that's really important. And I think the NDIS has really helped with that, to be able to allow a lot of parents to access funding to support allied health, and therefore the growth of their kids and their students, and accessibility, inclusiveness. It's really important.
Are there certain types of challenges that families go through in terms of accessing that support, whether that be through NDIS or another sort of?
Yeah, I've noticed there has been a few families that I've noticed who have struggled, and I think, but there's always a way. As I was saying, there's always a way of working around it rather than shutting the door, and I think that's really important. I think it's like any professional. Some professionals have the answers, and some need some more time or different support. I think it's just exploring all avenues, and I think the NDIS works really well to support our families.
Do you think that's sort of changed over time since you started in the education space with the NDIS? Was there sort of a lot of backing when you first started? And
yes. So when I did inclusive ed at a previous school, there was kids either had funding or they didn't have funding. And I think we try to support, as a Catholic school, we try to support them regardless if they had funding or no funding. But it was a little bit more problematic. And using allied health the way we use it now, it just wasn't accessible as accessible as it is today. So I think that's that part has improved considerably. The fact that we've got on site right now, we've got OTs, a couple of OTs working with kids.
Yeah.
So there's always somebody here working with our families. So it's
Are they employed by the school, the OTs, or do they come in?
They come in for a third
company?
party.
through a third party. Yeah. And so we just provide the space, make sure that they have the support that they need to work with the families.
And do you think having OTs or these types of non-for-profit companies coming into school helps a child grow, not only in learning but also in personal development skills? Because I think school is more, it's about learning and being educated, but it's also about, you know, making a lot of friends and stuff like that. So do you think that helps?
I think they help with some of the skill development, definitely. I think in regard to developing soft skills and EQ, I think we, for one, work really hard on that, particularly through our oratory system. For those listening at home, probably don't know what an oratory is, but it's basically, we've timetabled it on a Friday. It's a class where reception to 6, kids or a couple from each year level go into a class and they do the oratory thing. They do sports, they play games, they do activities. The oldest students support the younger students, similar to a high school setting. So
So it's different to the secondary level because that's every day.
Every day.
Yeah, so
we've timetabled, so we have it. So it becomes a part of their day to day. And the kids love it.
Yeah.
And Friday morning at school is just a hive of activity. Lots of kids movement. It's so much fun for the kids, and it's super supportive. They learn their soft skills, they learn how to develop their EQ, their relationship building. They have the support mechanism. They have another adult that they can actually access. There's nothing but positives out of it.
Do the younger kids have much connection with the Gawler Belt kids or the other kids out at 2 Well?
Where we can, we actually bring them down to help with different things.
Yeah. Are you still a Nokia in it?
No, I don't tell anybody what house I'm in anymore.
You support everyone.
Neutral, Switzerland.
Right. We'll get you to say it off camera.
Otherwise, kids are like, what house are you? It's like, So I just go neutral.
Do you think the oratory system will be every day in primary school settings in the future, or will it just be stuck to one day?
If we could do it every day, it'd be good, but I think it's a little bit unsettling for some kids. So 1 day a week is good. Plus, we don't want to interfere with those literacy blocks and numeracy blocks in the morning. So otherwise, and we could have it at different times of the day, but starting the day on a Friday morning, it's a great way to start the day.
It's a great way to end the week as well.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So we would just, I think at this stage, too much for the kids. I think they'd be pretty heightened.
How much impact do you feel you have on your students or your students that you've had past and present?
That's a good question. I think I remember. Well, you know how we remain contacted through Facebook, social media. I remember I had a student that I had had contact with, or a previous student, an old scholar, and something had come up with this slogan about a teacher. That teacher will never know the amount of impact you had upon them, or something like that. We've all had that one teacher that's had, and she copied me in, or what do you call it, tagged me in.
Oh, I saw this. Oh, I actually saw that. Who was that? Do you remember who it was?
It was a Michaela.
Michaela. King?
No, she should. But it was,
Now, I think.
And it was just like, wow, I didn't realise that connection, that impact, whatever I've said or done. And that's the beauty of being a teacher. You don't know what you have said sometimes or done to support somebody, and it just takes that one moment. But now I'm going to be philosophical, but this is life. You know, this is interacting with one another as human beings. You never know the impact you're going to have on another person.
That's right.
And that small little gesture, how it can just support somebody.
I mean,
going to share a bit of a story. Found impact on us, and I reckon it was in year 8. I don't know if you remember teaching literacy back then.
Yes.
Yeah, we had like that class of I think about maybe 14 kids or something in there.
Right.
I'm not going to mention names, but we were in that class. And it was our first day. We're all sitting there introducing ourselves, but every single person who's introducing themselves is saying, my name's such and such, or my name's Charlie and I live with an intellectual disability. And we say like we like soccer or whatever it have been. Right?
Yeah.
And I remember you got to me and I've said the same thing. And you said, before the next person speaks, stop, I'm going to share something. Your intellectual disability or that doesn't define you as an individual. Your characteristics, your personality, and the things you do outside of this school define you as a person. And and for me, that had a profound impact on us. It was sort of the first person outside of probably my parents that really saw an ability in us to want to pursue and keep striving forward and keep moving. And I thought, you know, that's one of the reasons why we circled back to interviewing you today, was because of that impact you've had on us.
Wow.
Yeah.
There you go. And that's the kind of thing. That's the kind of thing I would say because it sounds clever. I will take it. And own it very much. But I think that's important, isn't it? It's just sometimes the labels we give one another or each other or ourselves, it's not important. I think it's our character and who we are and how we treat others is super important. That little thing, that walking the dog and you see somebody and you smile and you make a comment, you know, they're the moments that define who you are as a person and how you handle little situations rather than explode and try to make something into a positive. Always trying to, what have I learned? What can I take from this is really important. Yeah.
It's a constant learning game, and that's what I sort of mentioned with Joe as well. Yeah, for sure.
Oh, good story.
It's made his day. Man saying that.
I need a trifecta. I need another one.
Oh, that's gold. What did you learn much from? He's no longer with us, obviously, but Lynn Martin. Did he teach you some things while he was here at the college?
Yeah, I think what I got from Lynn was the two things that he said that to me that really stick out. One was a saying that I often use, and it's called the sledgehammer approach. Sometimes, sometimes when something goes wrong, sometimes you have to use a sledgehammer. And when you use a sledgehammer, fingers can get broken. But we don't apologise because we have to use the sledgehammer. So like when you want to make a big impact, that type of thing. So that's one part. But the main thing that I loved about Lynn was the fact that he made it always about the school. And that sense of the pastoral care part of it. He loved the Salesian ethos. He loved the pastoral care of the school. I remember going to his, what year was it? Was it 2020? He got an award, the Australia Day award, and it was a big award for his work within the community. And he got up there and he didn't talk about himself at all. Not once did he say, I did this and I did that. He never used the word I at all. He just talked about the school and the ethos and the kids and the community. He made everything about everybody else. It just seemed like there was no ego. And I love that. Everyone has an ego. Everyone has an ego. Even those who say they don't have an ego have an ego. And there's a big philosophical discussion to have around that. Even somebody who does something quietly, gives to charity, nobody knows about it, still has an ego because it still serves themselves. So, but he really made this speech all about the school and the community, and it's not about me, it's about everybody else. And I love that about him. He was just all about everybody else rather than himself.
I think the legacy was the ruler that's up on the wall there, of what Xavier represents. What sort of impact did it have when he passed away?
Look, I think there's a big gap in the school. But there's philosophically, everything that he implemented remains. So in that case, you could say philosophically, he just lives on in the school. So yeah.
Seems like he had a lot of passion, a lot of drive for the school.
Yeah, he did. He didn't hold back. He loved the school. Yeah, and he loved everybody in it. He was very driven.
I remember our interview when we were about to start here. I think it was like when we were in year 7, I think, or whenever you have those sort of meetings beforehand. And he said to my mum, every child will thrive in this school no matter what their ability is. And that had a profound impact on my mum. Well, you're going here,
I've done school tours, and that's one of the things that I actually say. I didn't know he had said that.
You said that,
But one of the things that I make sure that it's clear, it's not about surviving, it's about thriving. So we emphasise that we're not here just to get over the line. We want to take all of our students and help them to thrive in whatever way that they're going to thrive. So, yeah.
Daniel, come to the end. Thank you so much for coming on. It's been an absolute privilege to have you on. I hope you've enjoyed yourself. What advice would you give to your younger self starting out at the airport or about to embark here at Xavier?
Or even younger than that, maybe.
What would you say to that person?
If I could go back in time, I would say invest in Bitcoin. But I think, look, if I could have gone back and, before I worked at the airport and just said to myself to become a teacher sooner rather than later, that's really important. I think the connections you make through being a teacher, but regardless of being a teacher's not everything. No. I think connecting with others is super important, and make all those connections day to day, as we were discussing, all of your connections with other people positive. It does make the world a little bit better. So the impact on others and the impact on yourself. I think that's, Bitcoin.
Bitcoin, that's the thing.
Well, I think you started as a teacher at the right time, for sure. Everything sort of happens in divine timing, I think. And, I wish, for this podcast, I started at 16. We didn't start until we were 21. Yeah, roughly. Yeah. And had our first guest about 6 months in. Yeah. So, it all sort of happens gradually in process. And, I think everything happens at the right timing.
Yeah. Let's go with that. I think that's a good philosophy.
Thanks for coming on, Daniel.
Thank you for having me.
Appreciate it.
No worries.
Thanks, mate.